Hi everybody, welcome back. Today's training video we're going to look at how we change the date or the time of an existing reservation, which will prevent us having to cancel a booking. This is a very useful function, activity box, because imagine a customer has made a reservation for an activity on a certain date and time, but his itinerary changes for his vacation, he can't make it, and he just wants to simply change it to a later time or an earlier time, or change the date. Now, we don't have to cancel the activity reservation and then rebook it. We have functionality in the system that allows us to very quickly just change the date for the existing reservation. And we start by finding the reservation. We do that by going up to the main booking icon once we've logged in, and we click Find Booking. So I'll just click here, and then it will open up the new search screen. So this search screen here allows us to search for a booking by the customer's name, his email address, his postcode, his phone number. However, the quickest and most easiest way to find a reservation in the system is just simply entering in the reservation number. This is detailed on the customer's booking confirmation. So whenever a customer might be calling you and asking to change the date, ask him if he's got his confirmation handy and ask him for the reservation number for his activity he wants to change. This here's an example of the customer's email confirmation here, and we can see quite clearly that it's detailed his V number, which stands for visit reference number, or his reservation number. And that's what we want to get from the customer when he's phoning up, so we can find his reservation quickly in the system. Let's say the customer does not have his confirmation handy. We need to do a search by his last name. Then we can just type in here whatever we wish. Ask the customer his last name, type it in, and then just click search or enter. Activity box is then going to generate a list of all the customers in its database that have existing reservations, and we can quickly find the customer by referring to his first name, his local telephone number, and there's some more fields here that we can find him with. Once we find the customer, we just click on his orange surname here on the left hand side, and that will then open up his dossier. For this training video today though, I'm going to search by reservation number. I have one here, 34062, and then I just click search or enter. And here now system pulls up a dossier for Mr. Derek Langlois, and we can see his customer details here at the top in white. And as we scroll down, we can see the activity details that we're going to change. He's booked for Fort West Paintball, the Quest 1 hour 30 with transport on Saturday the 25th of June. Start time's 2 p.m. And then we can see below here we have details of all these players, the booking types that he's booked, and also the total amounts he's paid. So what we're going to do with this reservation is that we want to change the date or change the time, and we do that on this screen. You can see up here at the top we've got a lot of functions. We're going to click the button change date. Now when we click this button, we're going to get this little pop-up that reminds us that change dates can only be done really outside of 48 hours prior to the start time of the activity. Again, this is important. It's explained clearly in the customer's booking confirmation, and the reason being is that imagine that you are the operator and you've got a group of 10 people planned to come on a particular morning, but then the customer changes the date of his activity the day before. That's just might be not on for you as an operator, and you might say, hang on a second, no, you can't do that. I've got my resources ready for you. I've turned away business. As such, I don't accept that change date at that last minute. So the general rule of thumb to consider is that if a customer is requesting for you to change the date or the time of his activity, then you should only do so if it's 48 hours or more in advance. If the customer is requesting this last minute, you're best just to check with the operator first to make sure that he'll accept that, or whether or not the operator will insist that the customer pays for his existing reservation and you make a new one. This little text here just reminds you of that fact, and to bypass it you just click OK. Okay, so once we've done that, we're now on the actual page that allows us to make a change. So we can see here we have again the customer's information here at the top. We have the title of the activity of the page called change date. We have the activity details, and then we have the step one. We just follow the steps here. Step one, choose a new date. Well, we can see that the original reservation is for Saturday the 25th of June, and in our scenario, let's pretend that the customer wants to go say the day after, the Sunday. So we just click on the calendar button, and we're going to choose Sunday the 26th of June. Now the system's then going to intelligently see if there are any available places on that new date that we've chosen, and let's see what it says. So we can see activity box now looking on Sunday the 26th of June. It's recognized that there is one start time that is available on that date that has sufficient availability for that existing booking. So it is at 1:30 p.m. The actual start time is 2. So in order to change the reservation to that date, we just select the new time that we want to move to. I do that by clicking the select button right here. And you can see now ActivityBox has highlighted the new start time and the new date for us, and it's then asking us step 3, do we want to charge the customer a fee for making this change? Now again, this is up to you. As long as the customer is making this change outside of 48 hours, there's no reason for you to charge him a fee to do that, but again, it's up to you. In this instance, we're just going to keep it at no fee. If I choose 20% fee, you can see the amount here changes, and that we actually now have to take some money off the customer on his existing credit card. But in this case, we'll just click no fee for the sake of this training, and then we'll go to the final step of this process where we need to enter in step 4, a modification reason. This is the reason why we are changing the date, and the reason we put that in is because always in the future, if we're looking back on this customer's history, we want to know what was the reason we made any changes to his bookings in case the operator needs to be reminded in the future. So I'm just going to put here change requested by client, bad weather, or change of itinerary, whatever you want to put in. Just put in as much detail as you can, and then finally you're going to click proceed to go ahead. So one last step after you click proceed, the system is going to double check with you that you do want to make this change, and you click OK. Now what's happening in the background, in fact, is that ActivityBox has just cancelled the old reservation from the previous date, and it's put those places back into inventory, so it's available for other people, and it's now rebooked and taken out new availability on the new date and the new time that we've chosen. Now we need to communicate this information to the operator. So this little pop-up here asks us, do we want to send an updated confirmation? We never change anything here, we just click continue, and then ActivityBox will automatically send notification of the change to the operator, and it will also send a new booking confirmation to the customer detailing their new start date and new start time as they've requested. Now after you've processed the confirmations, you will get a little pop-up saying that the confirmations have been sent, and it will list the email addresses it's been sent to. Always make sure that you read that carefully. If you have not entered in an email address for the customer, then obviously ActivityBox will not be able to send them the updated confirmation. So always make sure that you have an email address in there for the customer. You can see that here. If you do not, you can click this edit button here, which will open up this screen which will allow you to enter in or change the email address of the customer so it is valid. You then click save after making any changes, and then finally you're going to click email again, which is then going to inform the ActivityBox to resend his booking confirmation to the customer. We can see now this screen has amended itself. We are now showing the new date that we've booked, the new start time, and if we look on the entry history tab on the customer's dossier, we can see here that the system has tracked the original date of the booking and then the date that we've actually made a booking change. So everything's all in order. Now one thing to know is that you can only make changes to your own bookings. You cannot change the dates of other resellers' bookings, and the system will prevent you from doing that with a little pop-up, and obviously that's self-explanatory. What we don't want people doing is manipulating other people's reservations without their knowledge. So if a customer calls you, contacts you and asks you to change a reservation for him, change the date or time, and that actual booking was made by another reseller, you won't be able to do it, and you will have to ask the customer to contact his original reseller who made his booking for him, and that's obviously a good security step. So to finish everything, you can stay on this page, or you just go back to your main page as always by clicking Booking Create New, which takes you back to your main booking page on ActivityBox. So finally, to recap, what we've just done there is that we've found an existing reservation, we've drilled down to the activity level, we've chosen change date, we've selected a new date and a new start time in which to change the booking to. We haven't applied a change fee for that particular process this instance, and then we've clicked process, and the ActivityBox has automatically updated the availabilities and resent the confirmations out to the customers, and we've done all that without having to cancel and refund and rebook the customer's booking. As usual, please go ahead now and practice on the test site and get used to doing that, and then that will allow you, and it's exactly the same process on the live site.